Better in Green Monday Live. Our second attempt, I had the wrong graphic up there. Still kind of the wrong one, but we'll rock with it for the time being. We have a Monday full of college basketball. More importantly, my boys who are starting here in about 15 minutes. That is Michigan hosting Penn State. We have a USC UCLA game, and we also have a pretty decent matchup for the nightcap in college basketball. 10:30 Eastern time. We have Arizona and number 3 Iowa State, which I do have a couple bets in that we'll get into that as well. We have a smaller NHL slate tonight. Only a couple games, but we will talk about a few of those as well. And then NBA, to be honest, I really don't pay much attention to the NBA. So I don't have any bets in there. I haven't even looked just because my life has been so much easier not even diving into that terrible, terrible, terrible sport. But like I said, with football winding down and a couple other sports winding down, it may be time for me to start maybe investigating the NBA. But I really, really don't want to do that. I have been getting big into PGA. We do have a pretty big event this week, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Scotty Scheffler making his debut, Rory McIlroy making his debut. Really solid field. Colin Morikawa is in there. Justin Thomas, really great field, signature event, 80 golfers. I will have a couple articles out on our website, Better Green, on the Pebble Beach. But let's get into the slate today. Ethan, welcome. How you doing? I know me and you. It's been an exhausting NFL season, and just the icing of the cake last night with the Chiefs securing it against the Eagles. So Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl 59, I believe. You couldn't have written a better script, NFL. Congratulations for the most public season of all time. You got the two most public teams that make the Super Bowl. So I would say I'm excited for the Super Bowl. As of right now, I am not. I don't even care to watch it. I will. And I will get excited and I will bet it. But I know Ben, our leader here, is pretty excited that they have a chance to get a first ever 3P in the NFL Super Bowl era. So exciting for Ben, excited for him. But me and I think 90% of Americans are a little upset with the matchup. But I just went on a little rambling rant there. Ethan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm excited for Super Bowl Sunday, so the season can be done. That is the only reason why I don't really care about the Super Bowl. This is the least I've ever cared about a Super Bowl. But yeah, it's because it's the Chiefs and the Eagles, and because my season has been so terrible that I just don't even care anymore. Just ready for that league to be over and done with. I'm ready for the offseason. I'm ready for really to start looking at offseason lines, start betting for next year. I felt this way since like Thanksgiving though, so nothing new here. But yeah, congrats to Ben and his Chiefs. Once again, pulling the rabbit out of the hat. Yeah. Anywho, I have started. All I do on Twitter is bitch, by the way, and so people have seen that. I'm sure. Wyatt, unfortunately, you get it a little bit more than the Twitter followers, but believe it or not, I have actually heated up a little bit in basketball. Since not this past Saturday, but Saturday before, the 18th, I'm on a 14-4-1 basketball run.
Wow.
10-4-1, 10-4-1 college, 4-0 in the NBA.
Wow.
So super selective NBA, but I feel like I'm seeing that well. I feel like I'm hitting college well. NHL is still, you tell me. I mean, good God, is that sport impossible? But still trying, giving it the old college effort, even though I'm down 20 units in the NHL this year. But yeah, ended college football. I know we haven't gotten on since the national championship, had a 3-unit play on Ohio State that night. So didn't even watch the final play. Had to go to bed because I was livid that they let Notre Dame come back. It was a movie I had seen 1,000 times before. I knew it was coming from the second that was it Egbuka who fumbled that ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, the second he fumbled that, I said, "Oh, I've seen this 1,000 times." They're going to march down, get the 2-point. I thought Ohio State was going to get back into field goal range, but be able to knee out the clock and not have to kick the field goal. Thank God there was 20 seconds to spare. So yeah, somehow ended college football since the second week of November at 72%, or actually over 72%. So yeah, I bitch about the NFL a lot, but I'm actually doing okay in other sports, not named the NHL. All that being said, happy to be here. I've been following you with your PGA. I've been watching the PGA events so far. I have not bet any of them this year yet. Well, there's only been 2, I think. But looking forward to potentially getting involved this week.
Yeah, like I said, big event in the PGA, Pebble Beach Pro Am. A lot of the top golfers in the world are making their debuts of the 2025 season. So Scotty Scheffler is involved. Like I said, Rory. I did just buy. I bought a $130 package of this one thing online to get like a bunch of golf stats and stuff to make my research a little easier. So I dove all into that today. I'll probably have my article out tomorrow, and I'm gonna add a YouTube video as well. Probably on my own page. I'm not sure yet where I'm going to post it, but really looking forward to the PGA. But let's get into, what do you want to
Really
start
quick,
with? Go ahead.
sorry, while we're still on PGA, I saw you smacked a plus 1400 top
Yeah,
20 Valimaki. No clue, but I was following him all week.
yeah.
So
To be honest, I forgot about my placement bets. Completely forgot about them. I was live betting golf all week. It was a weird tournament that they started on a Wednesday, I think, because of the NFL game. So they finished
yeah,
on Saturday. Wasn't really watching much on Saturday. Was pretty invested to some college basketball. So looked at the final there, and I saw he got tied for 15th, and he was plus 1400. Made my besides that, I was shit, but his one bet kind of covered everything else. So yeah, I'll have some more placement bets. I'm gonna try to not bet outrights unless it's like really big tournaments, just because it's just not a whole lot of value. For example, Scotty is plus 450 this weekend, and there's 82 golfers, and he's plus 450. Those odds should at least be 10-1. So it's never valued right, and I don't think there's any value in outrights. But like I said, I can't resist to bet the outright of the Masters
oh yeah.
or the Open. But yeah, placement bets for sure. We'll get involved in. Anyways, I gotta quickly give my bet for this Michigan game, which is starting in 7 minutes here. Michigan against Penn State on Big Ten Network. Early Big Ten start here. Michigan has looked terrible the last 3 games. They're 1-2 in those games, including a loss to the worst team in the Big Ten, Minnesota in overtime, a bad win against Northwestern in overtime at home, and then an absolute dismantling they received from Purdue at Purdue this weekend. So Michigan's looked terrible, but I think this is a great bounce back game. They're at home against a Penn State team that refuses to play defense. So I am taking Michigan on the spread to cover this one. Again, this game is starting here in 6 minutes now. Michigan against Penn State. Taking Michigan to cover, but my favorite bet in this game is going to be the over. Like I said, Michigan has looked really, really bad. Just not great. A lot of turnovers the last couple games, especially, but they have a turnover issue. They have failed to really score a whole lot of points. But Penn State has allowed 150, or their games have finished 150 points or more in Big Ten play, all but one game. It's like 9-1. So the total is at 160. I think this is going to get well into the 160s, if not the 170s or the 180s. So I like the over as my favorite bet. Michigan, Penn State starting here in 5 minutes. I did take Michigan's team total on the over. I took adjusted team total on the over. I think Michigan has a good chance if they do bounce back, or they can just pout and quit, which wouldn't surprise me either. But if they really want to bounce back, I think they have a really good chance of scoring 100 points tonight against a very, very bad Penn State defense. So favorite bet's the over. Did take Michigan to cover. That game is starting in 5 minutes here.
Yeah, I will just quick touch on that. I have not bet it, and I really don't know why I haven't. But I like Michigan quite a bit. Reminds me 100% of the Illinois game yesterday. Illinois was laying 8 to Northwestern. Ended up only winning by 9, but they had that game far in control with like 5 minutes left and let Northwestern crawl their way back. But I stayed off of that one as well, and I was kicking myself for it. But it's a very similar spot. So, yeah, I mean, you mentioned it's been a tough sledding for Michigan in the last week and a half. Purdue, I mean, they caught Purdue at a terrible time. Purdue was off the outright loss against Ohio State, I believe, on their home court. Got to go back and defend their home court then against Michigan. It was just a terrible spot for Michigan to have to play Purdue. The other 2 games, I don't really know what was going on there. I mean, Minnesota's ass, and well, they've played a lot better actually lately. That was kind of their spark that got them playing well. But long story short, 3 rough games, blown out by Purdue on Friday night, a game that a lot of people had eyes on. Coming back home here, and if they can't get a win this game, their next 4 games here, they're on the road against Rutgers, back home against ranked Oregon, on the road against IU, which I know Rutgers and IU aren't great, but winning on the road in the Big Ten is never easy. And then they have Purdue right back again on that schedule. So, it's they need to get wins where they can right now with the shaky play the last week and a half. I think Michigan dominates Penn State. I don't know why I haven't bet this yet. God, do I want to?
Probably.
I might allowed to bet it. I'm not gonna be able to. I like Michigan a lot. I don't know why I haven't bet it. Trying to be a little more selective, but I like it.
Yeah, like I said, I took their spread, not super confident. I am pretty confident in the total. But yeah, that game is kicking off here pretty shortly. We do have another Big Ten game, Iowa, Ohio State. No big lean for me there. I would take Ohio State, lean Ohio State, but like a game I'm not going to bet. We do have another Big Ten game, UCLA, USC. Keep forgetting those teams are Big Ten. No bet for me in that game. I root for UCLA's demise. They are my Nebraska comparison of college basketball, maybe even my Colorado comparison of college basketball. I can't stand their head coach. I think he's a dumbass. I can't stand UCLA. Hope they lose every single game. So I don't want to let my heart get involved in betting. So I'll just watch that one and root for USC. And then we do you have anything in any of those games or any of the other games before we get into the one game I really want to talk about, which is Iowa State, Arizona?
Yeah, that's the one I want to talk about too. So just 2 leans. Michigan is my strongest lean, but I like Iowa +7. And really it's just because Ohio State off the win at Purdue. I think they're a little bit overvalued. They're not a great team. The reason I'm staying off, that could be their spark plug like Minnesota's was beating Michigan, where I thought they'd be overvalued the next week, and they've looked really good since. But Iowa off a win against Penn State, a win that they desperately needed. They had lost 3 straight before that. They're 11th in the Big Ten right now, so really fighting to stay within the reach of, at this point, even making the conference tournament. But after this, they have Purdue, Wisconsin on deck before 2 road games, Rutgers, Maryland, and then Washington. So they don't have a home unranked game until deep into February. They need a win here. It's going to be tough. It's on the road, Ohio State, but I would lean Iowa. And then I have a slight lean on I'm not even going to touch USC, UCLA. I have a slight lean USC, but I'm not playing it. My other biggest lean before we do get into that next game, I kind of like NC State +22 against Duke. Again, not going to get involved, but Duke obviously rolling, one of few teams that hasn't lost since Thanksgiving. I know North Carolina is having a down year, but they do have North Carolina on deck. It's always a big game. It does not matter how good or bad each team is. NC State down year from their Final Four berth last year, but they do play Duke pretty tough. 22 points seems like way too many, but I do think I'm going to end up passing that side as well.
Yeah, I saw that one. I think I might take NC State. God, it's just a game that doesn't matter, and I don't know. It's pretty gross. NC State's very, very bad, but I'm most like, depending how these early games go, if things go poorly, I may be jumping on NC State here. 4 straight losses as well. Ooh, they're not very bad or they are bad losses, but they're not by a lot. 6-point loss to SMU, 3-point loss to Cal, 3-point loss to Virginia Tech, 2-point loss to North Carolina, 1-point win against Notre Dame. They're winning and losing by small margins. So I don't know. I might get involved there. I will say one thing about Ohio State. I know they're 11-8, 11-9, and take this for what you will, but Ken Pom, whatever he decides to rank them, has Ohio State still at number 30, which is kind of weird because they are 11-8 or 11-9 on the year. 11-8, not great. Big Ten standings, they are 3 for 5 in the Big Ten. I don't know. I don't know what Ken Pom looks at. He also has Michigan super high, both on overall and offensive and defensive efficiency. If you guys haven't watched a Michigan game, there's no offensive efficiency, and their defense is ass. I don't know what stats he's looking at, but for what it's worth, he has Ohio State ranked pretty high. So I think they might be a little bit better than 11-8 record. So take that for what you will. But let's get into the big game.
Really quick, sorry. Just last thing on NC State. Haven't lost by 22 points this year. Their biggest loss was 18. And that includes Purdue. They only lost by 10. Texas lost by 4. Kansas lost by 15.
Are you talking
So,
me in an NC State?
dude, I don't know. Why is it 22 now, though?
Because it's number 2 Duke and the public sucks Duke's weenie.
Yeah, because Cooper Flag's going to get 40. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm probably gonna take NC State.
yeah.
I already know. I'm gonna bet it. I'm up way too much on my bookie this week, and whatever that means is I just blow money on stupid bets. So yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. But the big game of the night, again, it's the nightcap, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if all else goes to shit, you can just hammer this game, which I don't recommend hammering, but it is a system bet. And again, it is me and Ethan's system. It's also a pretty well-known system. A lot of people take this type of bet, and that is, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's when an unranked team is favored against a ranked team. Usually, this is an unranked team at home. But anyway, it doesn't matter where they are. An unranked team favored against a ranked team. We take the unranked team spread or money line. Usually, I just take money line. But this is unranked Arizona, 13-6. Arizona is a favorite at home against 17-2, number 3 in the country, one of the national champion highest odds to win it. Iowa State in Arizona is a 2.5 point favorite. I hate how ugly it is. I don't like Arizona at all. I think Arizona is much better than that 13-6 record, though. And it is Arizona. They're a pretty well-known college basketball name, but it's got to be Arizona money line. I locked that in this morning. I got it at minus 140, 135, 140. Looks like it's still right around there, but it's ugly. I gotta follow the system pretty much blindly at this point. It's been doing wonders all year. Worked really well last night or yesterday. It wasn't even a ranked game, but it was Army Navy, and Army was like 6-12, and Navy was like 13, and pretty much a reverse record. And Army was like a very small dog. Took them. They won by like 20 points. So it works, and it's ugly, but ugly bets win. I got to trust the odd makers here, line makers here, and I got to take Arizona money line.
Yeah, I also locked in Arizona money line this morning. I boosted it to minus 102. So basically even odds there on Arizona. Um, but yeah, I mean, we faded Iowa State against Texas Tech on the road. Didn't pan out for us, but it should have. Texas Tech lost that game by 1 point in overtime. I think we're up 17 at one point. Absolutely blew it. Bet against Iowa State last weekend against West Virginia on the road. West Virginia with the outright upset. Yeah, I like Arizona. I think Arizona is. I think Arizona could be a sleeper to make some noise in March. I'm definitely not counting them out. I think maybe this is a better spot for them. Like Michigan State always does better in the tournament, it seems, when they're a 5, 6, 7, 8 seed than they do when they're a 1 or a 2. And I think that could be how Arizona is. Come in a little bit unnoticed, under the radar, and I think they'll do better that way. But yeah, I like Arizona a lot. Arizona, I heard just today, even after I locked in this bet, in the last, I think since like 2021 or 2022, I can't remember the exact year. They have 4 home losses. I think they're 56-4 on their home court. One of which was this year to Duke. Obviously, no shame in losing to Duke this season. And that was early when Arizona had their early struggles. So, yeah, Arizona on home court. Like you said, the system play here, but yeah, I think Arizona is way better than kind of the credit they get. They don't have the fancy little number next to their name, and everyone sees Iowa State, top 3 team, only 2 losses on the season, hammer Iowa State, catching points. Never that easy. So yeah, I like Arizona a lot tonight.
This same exact system worked with Arizona a couple weeks back when they played Baylor. Baylor is number 25, so not quite the number 3 team in the country, but they're number 25. Arizona was unranked. Um, Arizona was up 42-19 at half. They ended up winning the game 81-70. So Baylor did come climbing back, but they were up 42-19 at half. Just remember that, because I think I'm going to add another bet here. Like I said, I'm up a little too much this week. Might as well keep throwing a little bit more. Same situation that Iowa State Texas Tech game we talked about. Texas Tech was up 40-34 at half, ended up blowing it in overtime. But that was the same situation. Texas Tech was unranked favorite against number 3 Iowa State. They should have pulled it off, just didn't. So I might add Arizona first half money line as well to this. I do have the over in this one. Iowa State plays or scores quite a bit of points on the road. Arizona is always a high scoring game. So I do like the over. I did take the over, but I am going to add Arizona first half money lines. Kind of instead of just doubling down on Arizona full game, just add a little security because I do think they're going to get it done in the first half as well. They seem to always come on hot. And I would say I do think is a team that if you let them keep hanging in there, they're going to find a way to beat you because they are so damn good. But I think they might get a little rattled early. So I will be adding Arizona first half on the money line.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I almost wish I had that instead of the full game, but yeah, I think Arizona wins from start to finish.
Yeah, I like them quite a bit. Well, I don't know how much I like them, but I like the system play of it quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it's even that much better when it's a top 5 team and a top 3. Like it's perfect. I do think Arizona probably is going to get win or loss. I think they might sneak into the top 25. I think they come out tomorrow. They've been on an absolute tear. I know they started the season off 4-5, but since then they've been 9-1. So they are playing pretty decent ball right now. That's it for college basketball. If you guys do have any questions, let us know. We did just go over a couple bets there. One is live. Michigan is live against Penn State right now. Let's go quickly over to the NHL. Unless you have anything else. In college basketball.
Just last. Well, yeah. Rankings came out today, so
Okay.
not in the top 25, but obviously if they beat Iowa State, then they have a road game against Arizona State on Saturday. Yeah, they're right on the verge of being ranked.
Michigan got kicked. What else is new? They win and lose. What's State at now?
State is up to 7.
Wow, up a spot.
Up 1 spot.
Would they jump Tennessee or
jumped? Well, yeah, I think Tennessee. Yeah,
Tennessee's 8.
Yep.
I like it. Michigan State is. I do like betting against Michigan State just because I really don't like them. It is Ethan's team, but they're going to lose one of these games where they're a favorite. It's just going to happen. You can't go through the Big Ten conference just beating everyone. One of these teams is going to beat them. I just don't know who, and I'll probably guess wrong.
It's probably going to be UCLA.
Potentially, but I really don't want to. I think I hate UCLA more than Michigan State, and I really don't like Michigan State much. I'm a sorry fan. I know Ethan likes Michigan much more than I like Michigan State. So I just have a really hard time rooting for my arch nemesis. Quickly in the NHL, I don't have much. It's not a great NHL slate for me. I do have 3 leans, and one of the leans I've turned into a bet. My leans are the Red Wings, the Flyers, and the Sharks. I ended up taking the Wings money line in a little 3-team parlay with a couple props there, but don't feel super confident in any NHL. Again, 3 leans, one kind of turned into a bonus bet that I use on that Red Wings game. But I do like the Flyers potentially money line, as well as the Sharks, which is pretty gross, but plus 150 San Jose against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I might get involved on that one. That's a 10:30 start as well tonight. So again, I'm in a dangerous spot because I'm up a little too much on my bookie. So kind of just throwing money willy-dilly, not being super selective, but Sharks is a weird line. I can see them upsetting Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah, I have one. I haven't placed it yet, but I'm going to, and I feel like I might talk you into it. I like the Kraken. I like the Kraken plus 240 money line.
Is McDavid back
on the road against the Oilers? Yes, McDavid makes his return.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I went against, or I was on the Oilers. McDavid's first game out. I know you were against them. You ended up winning that game. They did not get the win on the first game without McDavid, but McDavid back now. But there's more to it than that. The Kraken are off a 4-game homestand where they won 3 of 4. Their only loss was to the Capitals. They're off a 4-1 win against the Penguins. This is just a one road game here, and then they're back home for their next 5. So a lot of time spent at home. When the schedules come out like that, I feel like the team really just puts a lot of focus into that road game. It's like, hey, it's just a quick trip. Like, let's make it worthwhile. Let's get the win. head back to home ice and kind of defend our home ice. So I do like that situation. These teams also played on the 4th of this month. Oilers won 4-2. Like I said, McDavid is back in the lineup. And without McDavid, they did go 2-1. I mentioned they lost the first one. They did win the next two. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of a breathe easy spot for the Oilers. I really like the spot for the Kraken. The McDavid piece on top. Now you're giving me plus 240 on it. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm down 20 units in the NHL this year, but I am so there.
I mean, I'm sold. I'm just want to look at the starting goalies here. Pickard confirmed for the Oilers. Dackard unconfirmed. Pickard is 12-4. I like it though. I'll be there. Comment from Ben. Thanks for the shout out, boys. Properly predicted the Super Bowl matchup and was one off of a perfect AFC prediction. My futures continue to be hot. Love betting NFL this season. Can't wait to go minus 70 units in 2025. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good bet. I think that's now is it a little square a little bit, but you can't make fun of a winning bet. So that's a pretty you're hitting the futures quite well. I don't even want to. This NFL season just been a season from hell for me. So thank God props are keeping me alive. If it wasn't for me throwing a shitload, way too much money on kind of Hail Mary props and they're hitting, I'd be an absolute piss. So thank God for player props. But spread wise, you guys can go check over on our YouTube page, our NFL videos. My record is dog water. So not good for me in this NFL season, but Ben's hitting well.
Yeah. It's just been a nightmare. I finally won my first playoff bet yesterday because I live bet Philly. Thank God. But yeah, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Had the under. Philly cover that themselves.
You didn't have Saquon 3 parlayed with Hurts 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, no. And then the Will Shipley kicker in there, crossed my mind, but no. Nope.
There's someone out there that did Saquon 3, Hurts 3. I don't actually, maybe not, but $5 on that that's got to be close to 100,000, right? Like,
dude, if Shipley would have scored, do you think anyone would have won the King of the End Zone?
What would you do with a $2 million bonus bet? What would be your go-to bet? What would you take? Would you take?
Probably probably minus 200. Try to make a milli.
Yeah, I think there's a maximum at the odds, but minus 200 definitely feels like it would be in there.
Yeah,
I think it's like probably minus 250 or something. Yeah, just guarantee yourself a milli.
I'd probably throw on the Chiefs Super Bowl because I don't see them losing.
God, that would be electric. Oh, look at that Michigan turnover. Ben said last year I was worse than bad. Maybe it's just an every other year kind of thing. Maybe that's. I am optimistic. And I mean, Ethan, we're talking that the books can't keep having NFL seasons like this because the Vegas and the sports books are in piss. Every favorite's winning. Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl. Thank God Patty Mahomes isn't in the MVP candidate because they would be absolutely cooked if he won that. So they got to change something, right? I mean, I don't know if they can change anything. They got to make some different calls or something because they're getting cooked.
Yeah. I'm already worried for next year that lines are going to be a little bit inflated. But that might throw me off where, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going in Clearhead next year.
Got quite the comment from Ben. If the Eagles and Bengals ever play in the Super Bowl, he'd put a glass thermometer in something and crack it like a glow stick. That made me quiver. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Eagles Chiefs, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it'd probably be Chiefs Bears for me.
Chiefs Bears.
Chiefs Packers.
Dallas Chiefs.
Oh God.
Yeah, that'd probably be the worst for me.
That'd be it.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
Yeah. Well, good thing Dallas is never gonna make a Super Bowl ever again. So
true.
Have they even? Have they ever made one in our lifetime? Were they early 90s?
They haven't even made the NFC Championship. They're the only NFC team in, I believe, my lifetime that has not made the NFC Championship.
Good God. Awesome hire by them, by the way. Awesome
Yeah.
hire.
Did you see what Jerry Jones said about it? About going out of
Mm,
his comfort zone? It was
oh,
like he
is
was
that what he
trying to
said?
the way he worded it was just like he was trying to prove a point, which I'm like, well, putting your entire franchise in the hands of this dude is not how you prove a point. But yeah, he's like, people say I can't go out of my comfort zone. Well, I did it. This guy has no head coaching experience. Like, you don't think that's uncomfortable or something like that? Like,
Yeah,
uh,
I don't know. Ben says Aikman was the last quarterback to win the Super Bowl. I believe that is correct. I think that was in the early 90s,
yeah,
like 91, 92, maybe.
yeah,
Um, that was before Emmett Smith, wasn't it?
yeah. I think that was with Emmett.
With Emmett. Yeah,
Uh,
Emmett and Aikman played together.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Early
Michael
early
Irvin.
90s, I feel like. Do you have anything in the NBA? I do not, but if you do, we can
I
talk on that.
do. Another one I haven't bet, but I will end up betting it. It is the Pelicans. Take them on the money. No, lay the points. I lay the points in the NBA because it's usually a 40-point game anyway. So I don't know. I'll probably take the money line. But Pelicans are a like 2-point road favorite at Toronto. First off, you have a 12-win Pelicans team against a 13-win Toronto. Pelicans on the road and they're favored. Little bit telling there, but um, the Pelicans are 0-2 on a current road trip. This is their last game on that road trip before returning home. It is their third game in 4 nights, but they did have yesterday off, and then before that, they had a postponed game against Milwaukee. So they had a really light week last week. So I'm not worried about them getting tired tonight. Raptors are back home off a 2-game road sweep against the Atlanta Hawks. So I think they're probably feeling pretty good about themselves coming back home. And again, it's just a one-off home game before they hit the road again on Wednesday to go play the Wizards. Not that it's a look-ahead spot against the Wizards. Sorry, Noel, but no one's looking ahead to that team. But yeah, I think bad spot for Toronto. I like the spot for New Orleans, and the line looks good. So yeah, I like the Pelicans. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I normally would say I like it, but I know nothing about it. Haven't even looked. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I can't stand the sport. I absolutely cannot stand it. I really need to get back in the NBA. I think I'm just holding a grudge on it, but it's really pissing me off. Quickly before we go, do you just want to give? We'll each just give a couple bets that we're on. Again, if you do want all of our bets, we try to do a really good job of posting all those on our Twitters. So if you do want to follow those, that's where you can find them. Last comment from Ben here. The next head coach of the Cowboys is going to be a street corner worker. Yeah.
I
I go ahead.
I do have a comment from Ben because he just texted me separately. Ben and I have a new episode coming out of a kind of a hot topic in the NFL, but we were supposed to film tonight. He texted me, "Let's film tomorrow." My GM shitting my brains out today. Don't fuck with gas station chicken.
At least it was a gas station sushi. That would have been pretty bad. But Godspeed, Ben. Hopefully you brought a blanket in your bathroom that's 40 degrees. Yeah, quickly before we go, we're just gonna go through a couple of the bets that we are on. I'm on the Michigan's live right now, so I do have the over if you want to. Probably don't get on that. It's looking pretty good, so that's dead. I am on Arizona money line tonight. I'll probably be on Arizona first half money line. In the NHL, I am on the Wings. I'll probably be adding the Sharks, and I will unfortunately be adding the Kraken. I got convinced by Ethan there, so Kraken money line for me. Again, all my plays are posted over there on Twitter. But yeah, looking forward to it tonight. Ethan, quickly, what are a couple of your bets tonight?
Yeah, so I'll have one from each sport. I have locked in Arizona money line. It was minus 130. I boosted it to minus 102. I will be on the Kraken money line plus 240 or better. I'm sure that's better somewhere. And then I will be on the Pelicans, probably money line, maybe laying 1.5. We'll see. And then I just have one Super Bowl prop that I just have to mention because I heard about it today and just wanted to talk about it. I have a feeling people are going to hammer the Super Bowl MVP to be from the losing team, thinking that the Chiefs will win. Saquon's going to win MVP. And I just could not talk people off of that enough. I think we've had one Super Bowl where the losing team had the MVP, and it was a defender in a Cowboys game way long ago before the NFL was even close to what it is today. I wouldn't be shocked if we go the rest of our lives without seeing an MVP winner from the losing team. It's only 25-1. We're on Super Bowl like 57. It's happened once. The true odds should be 57-1. Yeah, just a horrible bet. I think a lot of people are going to be drawn to it. Would not bet that.
So that's your prediction, Chiefs winning.
Yes.
Okay.
Cannot see them losing.
Couple quick comments. Ben is wrapped up. And then afternoon UFC card this week. So Ben and Bobby do a great job with their UFC MMA show, Tapping Vegas. That is over on our channel, Better Green on YouTube. So make sure you guys do check out all the UFC bets. A lot of different sports going on with the end of college, or the end of both college and NFL. Don't be afraid to bet a little Pro Bowl props. I don't know if you can, but we might have a couple of those out. Like I said, UFC, MMA with Ben and Bobby. And then we do have a big golf tournament this weekend as well for a couple not so ordinary sports if you do want the bet and info on that. But we appreciate you guys. Good luck with all your bets tonight and throughout the week. Not sure if we're going to do an NFL video this week. We might. Stay tuned to our page. We'll probably have a couple college basketball ones out there as well. But good luck, guys. We'll see you in the next live.
See you guys.